Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul are finalizing a deal for a heavyweight fight on Netflix in December in Miami. Sources tell Ring Magazine Paul steps up massively to fight the former heavyweight champion after his exhibition with Gervonta Davis was cancelled.
If he's serious about the fight and if it can get made, there's a very good chance we'll do it.
Jake Paul's gone too far. Calling out Anthony Joshua could be the end of his career for good, or at least his credibility. He was calling out Anthony Joshua a couple of months ago and making headlines, even convincing Eddie Hearn there was a real possibility the fight could happen. Then he suddenly did a huge U-turn and announced a fight with a man 100 pounds smaller.
What?
But recently, that fight fell apart. They say it's because of Tank's legal issues, but in reality, the Netflix trailer for Jake Paul vs Gervonta Davis couldn't even hit 100k views. It's clear fans are fed up with Jake Paul's antics. It seems beating up a 60-year-old living legend in Mike Tyson might have been a step too far. Then bullying a man 100 pounds lighter has just pushed fans even further away. While Jake knows how to make headlines, that doesn't always equate to pay-per-view numbers. People are buying his fights or signing up for subscriptions, really just in the hopes to see him get hurt. It seems everybody knew a man 100 pounds lighter wasn't going to be the one to do it. But today we ask, is Anthony Joshua the one to finally end this clown show? While the announcement was recently made that Jake Paul is stepping in to fight Anthony Joshua, it's likely another bullshit stunt to create more headlines, so he can use the attention to do another U-turn and fight somebody smaller or older all over again.
But listen, we could wake up tomorrow and he's announced another opponent and he just used AJ's name for fight.
It's the same playbook. Maybe Clarissa Shield.
I drop men, I bust men nose, I beat men up all the time.
Or Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg will beat the living shit out of you.
Well, maybe not them, but you get the idea. Jake is constantly rug pulling his fans. It seems he's a scammer, just like his big brother Logan, but in a different way. He makes headlines teasing that he's finally going to fight someone credible, like Canelo or Anthony Joshua, Francis Ngannou, a real threat, but always ends up taking the easy route. Jake Paul currently walks around at 230 pounds, which means he's technically a heavyweight, or at least a big cruiserweight. But the only person he's ever fought over 200 pounds was an age-old Mike Tyson, and the last person he was scheduled to fight weighed less than most 15-year-old high schoolers. And that's no disrespect to Tank, he's a great fighter, but Jake Paul needs to start picking on someone his own size, because at this rate, he's losing any credibility he has left as a real boxer.
Real boxer.
The time has come to get in the ring with boxers.
I know that I will beat Anthony Joshua's ass.
Anyone who really understands boxing knows AJ isn't just bigger than Jake Paul. He's a different species altogether. Olympic gold medalist, unified heavyweight champion, he beat Vladimir Klitschko, he beat Joseph Parker, and he went 12 rounds with Usyk twice. The levels are so far apart here, it's almost disrespectful to even compare them. And I'm sure any high-level professional boxer would agree.
Do you actually think Jake Paul knocks out Joshua? Seriously?
Jake Paul chins AJ, yes, they fight.
Serious?
100%. If they fight, I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Well, at least his dad gets it.
Tyson says he's going to bet £1 million on Jake Paul knocking out Joshua.
I'm saying, how does that work? Anthony Joshua could knock Jake Paul out with his dick. So if it goes any other way, you know. But Anthony, listen to me. Don't take a dive with this Jake Paul, mate. Do not do that. Not for $1 billion, my pal. Don't do it. Don't do as the others have done. Do not take dives. If he fights, you knock him dead as a nit.
Okay, Tyson Fury must be trolling. I feel like he's always taking shots at AJ. Or maybe he just knows something we don't.
Jake Paul fights Anthony Joshua. I'm putting £1 million on Jake Paul.
$1 million? What the f***? Why would you do that?
Just because I want some free money.
Maybe I'm wrong, and Jake Paul's grown some massive balls, and this fight actually happens. If it does, then he probably figures that Anthony Joshua is all washed up, with a glass chin. And yes, maybe he has a point. AJ isn't the dominant force he used to be, and his loss to Dubois has clearly gave Jake a newfound confidence.
I know
he just got knocked out, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have a chin, and he has no skill, and he's stiff.
But wait, pump the brakes. Anthony Joshua's only 36 years old. And before that fight, he literally flatlined Francis Ngannou in under 2 rounds. Is he out of his prime? Yes. But this ain't no rusty 60-year-old Mike Tyson, who stumbles on his way to the ring. AJ is still a heavyweight monster, and one big punch could turn Jake Paul's lights out real fast. And Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua's promoter, is adamant that this won't be an exhibition.
Queensberry rules, 10-ounce gloves. If you want to fight, we're having a fight. We're not having it. I'm not interested in an exhibition for AJ.
No rigged fights. No light sparring sessions. If this happens, it's going to be a professional bout. That means AJ is coming for Jake Paul's head.
He told us in an interview that he spoke to you on FaceTime. What were those conversations like?
He said he's gonna kill me, and then I'm gonna have to fight for my life. I was like, all right, let's get it, big boy.
Alright, let's take Jake Paul's side here and try to get in his big head. What makes him and his camp think they can beat AJ? Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz, but Ruiz had to get up off the canvas to win, and he took some bombs in the process of landing his own. While Andy Ruiz might not have the best diet, he's got fast hands, an iron chin, and the mentality of a warrior. But I guess that fight plays into the glass chin narrative Jake Paul keeps talking about. Then, more recently, the Daniel Dubois loss is what seems to have really piqued Jake Paul's confidence, and in reality, that was one of the worst performances by Anthony Joshua. His hands were down low, his timing seemed off, but every fighter has bad days. Even with AJ performing badly, he still landed some big shots. Dubois took them well, but them same shots could put Jake Paul in a coma. So AJ hasn't looked great recently and is definitely on the down spiral of his career. But if we take a look at Jake Paul's recent performances, I don't understand where he gets his confidence from. He beat a 60-year-old Tyson who could barely walk, and he beat a washed up 160-pound fighter in Chavez Jr. and he still failed to knock them both out. He only has a 58% knockout rate, which isn't too bad, but it seems to get worse the more he goes up in weight. He has the power to knock out smaller guys, but will his power really carry over to heavyweight? It seems he's banking on Anthony Joshua's chin being made of glass, but in reality I think this narrative is over exaggerated. Anyone getting hit clean on the chin at heavyweight is going to enter the shadow realm, but AJ got up 3 times to continue against Andy Ruiz, and he got up 3 times to continue against Daniel Dubois, and Dubois is probably the biggest power puncher in the heavyweight division right now. There's no way Jake Paul hits as hard as him. So to sum this all up, even with the headlines and interviews, I'm still not convinced this fight is going to happen. Jake is likely using Anthony Joshua's star power for extra attention before he announces the next shit show. That being said, he has my respect for entering the ring at all, especially with his net worth. Nobody is forcing this Disney kid to fight. He's chosen this route himself. But unless I see Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul face to face with a bell ringing, I'll never believe this fight is going to happen. Hit like on the video if you enjoyed, let me know your thoughts on the whole situation in the comments, and subscribe for more high quality content. It's Motivation Mindset 100, I'm out.